what's the main objective you want the site to achieve?
The main objective is to show professionality of our company.
Yes.
And to get the information out to customers, because they won't buy off the web.
So you want them to sign up. You want
yes.
you want to become one of your downloads.
Yes.
So you want your ideal client to sign up to become one of your downloads.
Yes.
That's your main objective.
Yes. With this.
Awesome. Fee, can we kickstart with you?
Yeah, I was interested when you said you wanted to maintain some sort of control over your information because you were backing you out. I'd really urge caution around listening to the sort of generic press around social media and everybody destroying companies, because it's just not true. And certainly in the industry you're in, I would be hugely surprised if all your clients went about bagging you out online. I find that quite shocking. So just urge caution around this control. I think you're a professional organisation, you're dealing with professionals in a business-to-business environment. I wouldn't get too frightened around this, someone's going to come and bag it out, because you're really not in that territory. So just wanted to mention that because it's something that jumped out at me. I'm not going to mention around the technology. I've heard lots of pros and cons from both Andrew. I have my own view. But this guy, I'm sure, can answer that a lot better than I can. Yeah. My whole focus is more on business strategy for organisations, and I really would be saying going forward, you really need to be looking at database management and your database strategy, and not get too caught up with what your website looks like at this moment. I think if you can get your database strategy correct and segmentation correct, then you can really work on what people want from your site. And again, let's not think about site. You've already identified you've got issues with iPad coming along and people accessing information through all different devices, and that's not going to change. That's only going to increase. Okay, so I think the main thing is two key things for me is that you need to be looking at this database segmentation. You need to be showcasing your people and your specialists. I think blog is a good way to do that, or an easy way to do that without sort of feeling like it's a vast challenge for you. Right. But I would also say in terms of ongoing development, you should be looking at an application-based, modular application-based strategy, because we don't know what's going around the corner, and that's about as protective as you can get around web build. Because it's not about an online site anymore, right? So it's all about modules of information and where they live in different places, and they may live on someone else's site, like YouTube, thinking of a site. They may live on a cardiologist's blog site in America. So you shouldn't be trying to own your information on your site. You should be looking at where your information lives on all these different places. Thus, taking an application-based strategy is going to really help you. And two, taking a really strong view on database and segmentation around those specialisms is going to really help you to communicate to those people in the best way. I think that's probably the best advice I can give you. I don't think you're doing anything wrong. That's what I think is correct. Having taken this step, kind of the journey you probably need to.
Well, I think we're ready to move forward.
Yeah.
We've got a working solution that we can build on, which is.
So don't take the traditional route. Don't think of it like you don't think it down. We've got this website and we'll do a bit more on the website. It's just not the way this stuff works.
And when you mean database strategy, what do you mean by that?
These are very specific areas that you're after, and a cardiologist is going to be very different to a radiologist or to a nurse. Okay, so I think if you can really segment those areas and what those people want, what they really want. Okay, we're completely too busy all this, right? And small businesses, and everyone in this room will know that, are certainly too busy to take on information. And I find it amazing that people are still producing all these ebooks for small businesses when no one has bloody time to read them. They're trying to actually generate leads and do business. But it's true, So you've really got to understand what these people want and how they want it. They're really busy people. So I would say looking at some smart applications and serious nuggets of information that are bloody useful and help save them time is going to be a winning strategy. But you're only going to get that winning strategy if you really understand what they want. And you're not going to understand what they want unless you put some effort and investment into a database strategy. This stuff, technology will do whatever you want it to do. Yeah. Right? Forget that. It just doesn't. It will do whatever you want it to do. But knowing what people want and how they want to receive that information, I think for what you're in business, and these are very busy people, is going to where you will thrive and differentiate yourselves from your competitors, and you will hold yourself up within your international colleagues as a model to follow, not a follow-up of long-term models that you think perhaps you should be going because people are doing social media or people are doing. I really don't think there's any relevance to Twitter or Facebook for you guys. I say it. I don't talk about Twitter and Facebook. There's no relevance to that for you guys. I think Google circles would be really interesting around segmentation.
That's something we want to.
So, building on what T has said, because I think she's spot on. Because I'm going to just talk about technology, and I should be going to talk about the hook.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Well, the technology.
Yeah. So, as far as the technology goes, it's all flown on iPad. But you know that, obviously. I've got one sitting here. I can't even see that banner.
Yeah, it's all. That's a serious issue at the moment.
So the page looks like.
I know.
A mess.
Yeah.
So, anyone that's using Flash, if you want to have a big Flash page, you're going to miss your iPad market completely.
So what should we do?
Well,
Get rid of it.
Use JavaScript.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many options there, and all it is doing is exchanging images with a little bit of a fancy fade in between. With WordPress and on bias, obviously, but you upload the images you want to be in the slideshow, and it just presents them one by one.
You can get a slide in Joomla. You can get a slideshow through Joomla module, which you can put in. It's a simple plugin.
It'll be the
Free.
same, yeah.
I think K2 does it.
Yeah.
K2 they do that. You plug it in straight away. Rather than use a one panel.
Yeah, much easier to manage because you've got to think about the end.
And we can also update it more regularly.
Exactly. Yeah, you can throw in something new.
Throw in anything
more
you
quickly.
want.
Dealing with Flash means getting Flash developers sometimes involved, and that adds cost and time. What's the other thing? So you've done really well to get a site this far. I really like the product. I looked at the product pages earlier, and they're actually really well laid out, so you can find information really easily to sort through. Because you turn people off. It's tedious to get through. I'm not excited about all this stuff.
Are you
I want to ask quickly about the call to demand for people to sign up on the site quickly.
Yes, well, if that's your prime focus, then it's not showing up. That's your prime focus. So you've got to. But that's really. You're going to.
You know it as well.
Well, my observation is grey one of your brand colours?
Yeah, we're actually branding.
Sorry?
So it's just followed through from the global brand.
Yeah.
But we're not very excited about it.
I'm not very excited about it. It's the shade grey which completely looks like a default grey that every website has.
We've got the same computer up there.
If you go to Windows Cement's site worldwide, you get that same.
Yeah, so you can be the different. You can be the different part of
Right.
the campaign. The innovative part that they'll follow later.
Yeah.
Structurally, I mean, the fact you're using Joomla isn't a bad thing. The fact you've got a content management system is a good thing, and they do the same job, and they just have different. There's a learning curve to learn both of them. So, where is your mailing list? What's the database managing that?
Well, that's where the hold-up came, because I've done a section on SAP system at the office, and then we needed that exported to come to the Joomla platform.
I'm gonna have to wrap
And
that
that
up.
was a disaster. So that's where the problems came, but we've got around that now.
But are you sending it from one computer in the office, or how's it getting out?
Currently.
I look at a third party.
Like Amazon or
Well,
Campaign Monitor.
Campaign Monitor, MailChimp is...
MailChimp.
They're the best in the world. Campaign Monitor are the best in the world, and they're from Perth. I sent out one yesterday to 12,000 database, and it cost me $127.
The largest
That's how
energy
cheap.
company in Australia uses Campaign Monitor.
There you go.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks for the.
For the smaller to medium-sized businesses, I tend to get people on MailChimp. MailChimp's a very good...
MailChimp's free at a certain point.
Well, you pay with no branding and
Yes, yeah.
numbers. Once you get the numbers up, you can start.
Yeah, true.
All right. Any final words, Mark?
I guess I really do agree on the call to action. Putting where you've got your contact us, I would certainly put your phone number up there instead, and your email address. So people are lazy; they don't want to click on that. They want to see it automatically and put it into their phones. I'll put your email address up there as well if you can.
Yes.
With your
You're talking about that one here?
yeah, put it all up there. Obviously, with the form field you've got up there as well. I know Fee mentioned on, if you're going to be sending a database to a cardiologist rather than radiologist, you need a form that's got specific information on there. Maybe you put a button up there that says, you know, join our newsletter, and it takes you to a page where it's got a form that you're going to have specific information to, because it's going to need 2 or 3 different fields rather than just email, submit, and then you've got it.
Yes.
So you'll need a few different, you know,
and with
fields
this mail thing, allow you to create that form to bring out different things.
Exactly.
Structure.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. The first thing that actually, when you went up, I know you can't really change the name of your business, but Sean didn't understand what it was called.
Yes, it's
From the first time you said it. So I know it's a Japanese business. I'm just wondering how you can get around trying to say that easily to people rather than, how do you spell that? Or, you know, because that really doesn't help your domain name as well. If people can't understand your business name, it doesn't help them trying to find you on Google as well. Little things like branding things with your solutions for science, your tagline, I'd really neaten that up. That stands out to me as a designer, just because it's not in line with the left-hand side of the S and the right-hand side of the U. Little picky things like that.
It's blurry, and it is blurry.
It is blurry.
Blurry. Change the font. It looks dated.
Yeah.
Keep it all lowercase or all uppercase. Yeah, it doesn't.
I probably don't want to know how long you've been in business. I want to know that you are 2011 proof, not 875.
Yes, okay.
And I think, yeah, you know, you look at your page like that, and you can split that into 3 at the moment. You've got your header. I'd keep the, you know, your navigation a bit more cleaner. You've got to, you know, keep it white or, you know, very light, because you've got a, you know, a nice light blue. Take a colour out of one of the photos at the bottom and use that, because it's medical. It needs to be clean, and you know, you're using a massive amount of space there just for images, which they're not really doing anything. So I would actually take all that out.
Yes.
I would move some of the text from the bottom up there, and just have some of your keywords linking from that HTML text that's going to be into there in your you know, top header browser, and all your keywords in Google and everything just linking up. And you know, possibly have like a nice little JavaScript slider where you say you've got 4 little thumbnail images below to the right hand side of it. You roll over one and it changes the image. And that's what you want to be doing in your content management system, is changing those every time.
Very good. Great piece of training. I think we've learned a heap there.
That's fantastic.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks very much. Thanks very much.
Research from the largest retailers in Australia on online retail, so I have a lot of experience in this space. I have a 7-year-old daughter. She's got 2 feral teenagers.
We're not quite there yet.
No, you don't want to. You really don't want to go there. It's awful. But you know, one of the things that the findings, and I hope this helps you, is women are in control of the $20 trillion worth of spend a year. That is more than the economies of China and India in the last 6 months. Okay? And all the research says women feel completely unloved by companies.
Yes.
But we control 70% of all purchases and 85% of all considered purchases completely around the world. Okay? So I am really passionate about what you're trying to achieve, and I am literally your target audience.
Yeah.
Where I struggle, because I did go and look at everybody's site today, and I did go and look at Facebook and those kind of things. I'm going to give you two elements where I struggle strategically, which is really what I do as a job, is I don't think there is a differentiator on this site. There was nothing that made me go, this is different.
Yeah.
Okay? And I tell you, you need to work out what's different. Is it quality or is it convenience?
Yeah.
Because it's those two things. So women, more of this work now. We don't have time to shop, and you're absolutely right. Westfield's becoming a town square concept full of entertainment outlets. All the small boutiques are leaving. They can't afford to rent in Westfield. So suddenly you've got lots of competitors in this space.
Yes.
And you're going to get more and more and more internationally as well as Australia. At the moment, to let you know, in Australia there's 30,000 shopping sites, only 6,000 are Australian companies. The rest are all international companies that Australians are shopping on. So you're in you've got a really big opportunity to take on board the big guns in Australia completely, but you're also in a hugely competitive space, and you've got to differentiate yourself. And so selling lots of products and having lots of categories is not necessarily, at 6 weeks in, the right strategy. You'd be better focusing on something, a core proposition, and it could be quality, it could be convenience. And I'll tell you one thing, and I don't know if this is something you guys can do, but one thing that I really miss from the UK, and that is from Argos, I would give my kids the Argos catalogue at Christmas. They would tick what they wanted. I said it was Santa's book, and it would arrive wrapped to my door. Like that is bloody worth so much to me that every time your birthday party is where I'm going to go to Argos, right? I'm going to walk into Argos from the high street because I love Argos, because I don't have to do any Christmas effing shopping, and I don't have to wrap the presents up. And Santa's paper is different than Mummy's paper, so I get over all those awful questions. So, but that was a real value prop. That one thing was a real value prop.
And we have done presents already in our such early days.
So maybe that's what you amplify. The other thing, just in terms of tactical stuff, Facebook. I saw that you were doing well on Facebook. I think it's natural territory. For God's sake, have a Facebook shop. Get this built in Shopify, or there's a really good app.
We didn't know how to do it.
If you take my card, there's a really good app I found the other day, and this was advice to a really big company that Barnes from New York are using, and it's like $20 a month.
We've been asking that question.
Catalog. Basically, your Facebook site becomes a whole search, and then when you go to your buy, you go straight to your website.
We've sold stuff through Facebook because they're there, they want to buy, and they say, how do we buy it? We'll say, well, just post and we'll send it out to you. And they haven't even been to our website, but we need it.
Don't do Facebook advertising, for God's sake, it's a load of crap. So, but Facebook shopping, I think you've got to think. And your blog, for goodness sakes, ask your mates to put some comments on there. Ask your mates to put it on their Facebook. Women are huge social networks. All your friends will be on Facebook. A majority of it, well, some of your friends will be on Twitter, Get into Essential Baby. Go and tell your story about 2 mums trying to set up an online shop to the editor of Essential Baby. They need content. They're there 24/7. If they don't have content to write about, they're screwed. Get out there and tell your stories. One of my friends is the top wedding blogger in Australia, called Polka Dot Bride. She just shares her readers' stories. Their videos, their photos. Everybody loves to be famous. Get your customers and start with your friends who are buying off you to post their stories on your blog. And from your own networks, you will build a business. You only need about 10 women who are a bit nutty on Facebook. I've seen it, it flies. I engaged 5 women for ANZ on a financial campaign. We got 10,000 women signed up in 3 weeks. Wow. Women are prolific at this stuff. You just need to find the right women. And they're passionate, and you've got to be passionate. You've got to go, I am pissed off with walking around those shops and overcharged for Chinese crap.
And that's where
but that's not coming across to me in your site. You've got to shout it.
So is the blog in the right place then?
I wouldn't say so.
No.
I better shut up now.
Right, so that's 7 minutes. Let's go.
Just move on.
It's not built on a PHP platform.
We're not technical people at all.
I can see that it's been built with a Microsoft server, which is a concern for me. Which is why I think you're having trouble with the blogging part, because it's not built to blog with.
No, it's not. It was something we wanted to add in, and it was sort of
it's critical. Like you can probably put your engine in Facebook and use that as your blogging platform, but as a blogging tool, it's not going to work.
We're finding that doesn't work at all. We find Facebook works much better.
Facebook is much easier too. If you do eventually decide that you want to have your own blog, because you control your content if you have your own blog, that's the benefit of that.
So could we control an external blog and link it in there somehow?
I would honestly think about a second site in some shape or form, whether it's on a blogging platform.
That's what I'm saying. Like, can we have an external blog and link it in?
And you could call it purely for kids blog.com.
And we have got one but we haven't really.
That's what I would have that click go to, because at least it's a proper blogging platform where people can make comments and sign up very easily. There's less friction, and it looks. Even though it looks different, it's clean. They're generally very clean.
So we need to build that.
You don't want to get them away from this. It's so busy that you want them to just engage and not think about the products will sell themselves once they're engaged. So I can see, you probably this development company probably went down this road because you're very retail orientated and you wanted a very specific kind of shopping experience. So
we're also mums, we didn't have a lot of money. So, to be honest, we're starting from
it looks like it would cost as much as a WordPress or Joomla based platform to build, but it's using older technology.
Okay.
And I'm hammering on that point. Everyone should get is your phone number is so hard to find.
Yeah.
It's like this big on the contact page. It should be up there on that white space.
Okay.
And what do you guys think about those ones where you just, so I know there's a lot of plugins, WordPress, Joomla will have them where you basically click on it and it phones you or it Skypes you automatically, things like that. Yeah, where you basically go click to call and you click it and it basically automatically calls you.
If people have got Skype turned on and they're on a website, it generally automatically puts that click here to dial option. I don't know if it'll just.
Or you've got those live MSN things built into your site you can do as well.
Actually, that's something we're thinking about too, is putting live chat on your site, because you're generally on the computer for a lot of the time.
Yeah,
if you turn on the live chat, I mean, I've got it on my site, and the people that get on there and just have this one thing I want to ask, and it takes 5 minutes for me to deal with. So they're so happy, and they immediately tweet about it or write something about it.
It's that fanatical support you're talking about.
Yeah. But it's the engagement. It's they want to know that there's a person on the other end of this business as well, people on the other end, and you want real engagement.
It is. Yeah.
It's one way for you to beat the big boys.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Thank you.
Mr. Scarrett.
If I saw your logo, I wouldn't know you're selling clothes.
Yes.
So I would probably put clothes in your tagline.
Yes.
Clothes
We've
for.
been discussing that. Some of those photos are so nice. They might think we're a photographer. Who knows, you know? Yeah.
So I'd probably do that. Completely agree about the blog, and actually put a menu in your navigation saying blog as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Your banner on the right hand side, that's a JavaScript banner, which I was talking about before, so it fades in and fades out. It works on an iPhone and an iPad. It gets a bit annoying when it's on every page.
Okay.
So I would just keep that on your home page.
Okay.
And you've got your $75 free shipping.
Yeah.
Or I put it on the other pages as well, or at least do a smaller, thinner banner
Somewhere
on all the other pages that say that.
Yeah, we were worried to start with whether even the banner was too big on the front page.
I think it might be a little bit too big. It does cover a lot of the space.
Yeah.
So possibly you can make that a bit smaller. Your niche in the long run might be these people really like one particular brand that you sell. So when you do get bigger, it might be worth putting in your navigation down the left-hand side, shop by brand.
Yeah, we've got brands that's right down the bottom.
Okay.
It's hard to find because it's such a long list now. Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I've written. Yeah. But apart from that, it looks kiddish. It's got the primary colours and all that type of thing. It's good that you can see your shopping cart top right. And how many items are going in there every time. I haven't seen the workings of it, whether, when you do add a product to the shopping cart, it lets you carry on shopping rather than taking you straight to the cart. I don't know, but it shouldn't be doing that.
Okay.
It should, you add it to the cart and you carry on shopping rather than going straight to the cart.
Yeah.
So when you built your Alex Perry site, Mark, when you built your Alex Perry site, you buy the dress and then
that's
say
not an e-commerce one.
Okay,
another one. Yeah.
Another one. You purchased the dress to say you should buy these earrings with it, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely upsell option.
Other people have purchased.
Other people have
upsell
purchased.
option. I've not seen your website too much, so I don't know, but that is a great point.
Yeah.
Always have an upsell option where you've got related items below the product.
Yeah.
If somebody's going on there and buying a polo shirt, you want them to come away with a little pair of shorts as well.
Yeah.
That goes with it. So the dev company should have
And if you want to see a really good example of that, go to GoDaddy and I'll try to say anything under the sun. You should buy one thing. But
also, your search bar should be at the top, not at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
You make it really hard work for someone who doesn't have time. Like we're talking about time, more people.
Yes.
And search is so they don't even have time to read through the subcategories.
No.
They just want to type in.
I think that newsletter bit is not as a priority, I think, compared to other things you should be having the goals.
They're important.
The goals on home page is your most important real estate.
Yeah.
And top left is where we look.
Yes.
When you look at heat maps more than anywhere. And it doesn't say shop, it says sign to a newsletter.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right, very good information. Thank you very much. Well spoken.
Thank
Lovely.
you.
Thank you.
How old is your website?
4 years old.
Okay, right. What I would probably suggest is most websites out there probably need a bit of a revamp every
That's
3 or 4
happening.
years.
Yep, that's happening.
So, to inject some of your personality and your passion into the design of the website will give it heaps of, credibility. I don't know what the new one looks like, so I can't
No, it hasn't
comment.
happened yet. That's why I'm coming to see you first before I go do it.
Mighty Fresh, do you own the domain name spelt MIGHTY as well?
No, we don't own that name.
Is somebody else own
I
that?
don't think so, but we can go and get it.
That's the first thing you should check out.
Right.
If you can buy that as well. Because if you say Mighty Fresh, they're automatically going to say MIGHTY.
So they've been looking to do to enhance future sites.
Look, I think you're using a kind of older style magazine type of layout for your site, where you've got the rounded corners and an image on the right hand side, your gradients. It's just a bit old fashioned.
Okay,
So,
what would you suggest? Bring the products up from the bottom and do a slideshow.
Oh look, I think even if you could, put up there, say, 4 or 5 of your top articles that your viewers would want to see, have those in a little JavaScript thing where you can, it slides over and it has and each one of those articles has its own page, so somebody can go to that specifically, to its own page for that. I haven't seen your blog. You have though, but you can talk about that.
I've got 500 pages to choose from.
500 is way too much. Way too much.
That was due to SEO.
Okay.
To try and get because we're finding it very difficult for we're competing against drug companies.
Right.
For example, people with using antihistamines to deal with their allergies.
Yeah. I don't mind your logo. I think if you was to go to a web development company and you're happy to have your logo the same, they would take that branding and take it to the next level of your website. So it would include more aesthetics from your logo. So your font. It could be. Yeah, it's hard to think at the moment, but the live chat's a great thing. Have that more predominant. It looks a bit dated. The colours. Have a nice little button for that. And just try and get rid of those gradients. I think that's a bit of a dated way of doing something nowadays. It's all to do with the design. Yeah.
Excellent, good suggestion.
Yeah, so Bill on that, you've got the good colour, the green and blue combination can be made into a really nice looking site with a fresher look. The live chat, you can see the edges of the cropped image showing.
That's because it's a free one.
Okay, first warning is, how much is your business worth? If you're using free things to build a website, you're kind of projecting that to people. You've got to spend, like, your blog is could be used as an anaesthetic, to be honest. It is words until infinitum. It's just words. You need to put images into the top left corner of the text and wrap text around it so that there's something else to look at, something that catches people's eye. And I'll stop long enough to read because I guarantee no one gets past about the third post because it's so long. And it's dollars. It costs dollars to buy a professional image from iStock Photo, for example. It's $3 to $5 is really worth it. Like free, with even WordPress, it's a free community-based platform, and people are trying all the free tools to make it to do everything they want to do that the big corporates do. And you've got to realise that it is such an important part of your business that you've got to spend some money. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. You have to spend some money on the tools that put your website together. Like contact forms, for example. There's a million free ones, but with WordPress there's one paid one, which is unbeatable. It's so good, and it's really worth spending that. And same with the images. You need to be prepared to spend, a tiny amount of money on your images because it will make such a difference to your blog. It will be so much more engaging than currently.
I'd say the main thing as well is less is more with you. Think of everything that you want to say in just one paragraph rather than 3, and really condense it down, because people are so lazy nowadays. They don't want to read 3, they'll just read 1 and get all the information in there. Make sure you've got all the keywords into that one paragraph, that it's going to help your Google searches and things. But certainly with the blog, photo, couple of lines, and that's all you've done, and it saves you time as well.
Yeah, and be aware that Google has completely changed its search engine methods in the last 6 months. So a lot of the 4-year-old technology strategy is not working now. So, and I would change your strategy to not try and compete with the pharmaceuticals, or find another long tail answer that's long tail term that people will be searching for regularly that suits your need. And the final thing is cut down your taglines. It's just so long that it needs to be far more concise. I can't think of the top of my head. It's specialising in maintaining allergen-free environments. It should be just like breathe freely, or something much more high impact, easy to kind of get.
Excellent. Fee, any feedback?
I mean, on a positive note, I think you're doing okay with your social networking stuff. And to be honest, I agree with these guys. There's just too much words on your site. It's just like, I couldn't agree more with what these guys are saying. And if they want to find out more information, give them a download. Send them to a YouTube channel where they can watch a video, right? But just give them enough, and if they want more, give them that option. But what I think in terms of your pharmaceutical stuff that you're talking about and your challenges, I think you're obviously quite passionate about what you do, and I think you should perhaps turn your web strategy on its head and think about it as you and your passion and what it is about you. And I think you're doing a good job on social networks and building it out from a personal brand and a spokesperson around this stuff could give people like these guys a really good opportunity to build something pretty different that would differentiate you. And the other reason I'm mentioning that very quickly, because I know I've got to be really quick, is that talking about Google, having been very careful in terms of monitoring things and being very fortunate to know some really smart geek people, I was talking to one of my special geek friends, and they are pretty convinced that Google are going to be quality ranking on the quality of authors. So who is writing on your site or your blog will have a hefty swing on your search rankings as to the quality of that person, and that person is a social author. So I think even more so that if you're in a competitive space in terms of search and people finding you, leveraging yourself, your passion, your knowledge which you have, and you say you're not used to public speaking. I actually found your story very engaging. So, to be honest, I use that, right? Use that.
It's putting that passion into the blog as well.
Yeah.
Because it's a one-on-one service. People are going to buy your products because it's you.
And I think if you brief these guys with that, because you don't have to brief someone.
Yeah.
With that, they'd go, I've got some territory to do something with. If you weren't, my site's old, like I've seen some people, they say my site's old, they go, you'd struggle, right? You've got to give a value proposition. And all the other stuff, lots of stuff, you can go download it, or you can go to, and let it live somewhere else. Do podcasts on iTunes, or, let it live all over the place, but make it about you and that kind of stuff.
7 minutes, quite a bit, Jack. What do you think is the main essence? What would you like the panel to help with you here right now?
Basically, it's all about what we want to do is we want to be able to access more small business and drive them to the site.
Okay, so on Facebook I couldn't find you today. We're struggling against the fact that small business and small business topics are all over the web.
Exactly.
And you're not fishing where the fish are.
Right.
Okay? So if you said in your document, you want to drive sales and sign up. So I'm just going to focus on that one objective, drive sales and sign up. You're not fishing where the fish are.
Right.
You have a really poor ranking on Google, SMO and SEO. For me, and I'll leave it to these guys who are more experienced in web development, as a small business owner myself, the site doesn't grab me. And it doesn't matter how great it is behind the scenes and what the product's like, because you're not going to even get there. Okay, you're up against sites like Xero, who are doing a really good job. They're one of my clients I mentioned is ANZ. They've done a partnership with ANZ Small Business too.
If they're a one product company.
They might be a one product company. The fact is they're there,
right,
where small businesses are, and I can see them, and all ANZ's customers can see them. They can't see you.
Right.
So it doesn't matter whether your product's more superior. If no one can find you or see you, you're not going to drive leads or sales. So I'm just going to leave it at that. That's because I know we're a bit out of time. But I think that's what you need to work on. You need to fish where the fish are, you need to get some visibility, and you need to really tighten up your pitch so that you can go, right, these are the 3 things I'm going to get out of this that I want to see. all the sexy stuff behind the scenes of how this is going to help my business.
Do you think the business needs a new name?
I hear where you're coming from, Mark. What you're saying is that what I'm saying is you've got disruption around those terms and words, because I'm afraid they are really used by big business who know how to get visibility. When you go small business help, you know, just Google small business help, small business accounting software. You know, you've got a hell of a fight on your hands if you think you're going to get up there with the, you know, with those kind of terms and what people are bidding on.
Oh, definitely,
You know, smarter companies, because I don't think your site, correct me if I'm wrong, it's really built to be optimised or to be socialised. I just think you've got to focus on driving sales.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if that's your objective, driving sales and sign-ups, you're going to have to really kick some arse in terms of getting some share of voice and visibility, because I don't think that's going to do it.
Yeah. At least you understand that your logo's crap at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, that's the main thing, because, you know, if somebody's going to look at that, they're going to think the company's a bit like a Mickey Mouse thing, because it looks kiddie. You know,
Off the logo, in terms of layout and design, Mark, what do you think they need to work on to enhance that sex appeal in terms of getting people to sign up?
Oh look, I'm all for white space at the end of the day, but it needs to be proportional. If you go up and down, you know, you've got a paragraph of text and then there's that thing there, which I don't really know what that is. Oh right, okay, sorry.
Slideshare.
Sure. I guess, you know, out of all of the websites out there that we've seen today, it's probably the one that's the most dated, in all honesty. So it does really need a nice modern feel to it. And I know why they've done the red. It's from the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah,
they picked the red out of that, which
red.
is it's too kind of library kind of colourish, isn't it? It's a bit bland and a bit boring. I'd even do offers. You know, buy 3, get the 4th free or something. If you're selling 5 particular things, you know, like the upsell option of, you know, when you're buying a clothes on the internet, you buy 3, you get.
And would you show that on the front page? Because at the moment you can't really see what you're buying on the front page.
There's too many clicks as well to get to it. You went to that page where there was those little icons, and you have to click on that to get to the next page. I think you can really
because there are 5 products.
Yeah, I know, but you can have
a pricing table.
Yeah, sure, but you can have that on the home page, and less clicks is more then.
Yeah,
I
you
really
can have
think
things.
they should employ a really good copywriter.
Yeah.
You know, and get this completely tightened up. Really, it needs really tightening up.
You can use a
If
slider.
you're going to drive sales, that's what it's about.
Yeah,
it's not branding, is it?
You've got to use an image slider at the top to showcase all the different products.
Yeah, the 5 products should be 5 slides, not some random kind of statements and photos. That's not communicating. It's imitating other sites that use it for selling shoes, or for selling Coke, or for selling experience-based products. This is not an experience product, so it's using the wrong strategy. It should be hitting really hard on the 5 products in that slide.
I think if you got this right, you could talk about these ones.
Yeah, I agree.
Your return on investment on spending some money on it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Look, you know, I think what you're doing is a really good job. I just don't think we're hearing enough from you, to be honest with you, Robin. I think
About what I do.
Yeah, I think that you're doing a really good job. Honestly, I think what you're doing on Twitter and on your social networks to build your profile is fantastic. I think your site's really clean. The only criticism would be perhaps there should be a stronger call to action. That's sort of just a little bit of contact there rather than, you know, change your life, call me now kind of thing. And I think maybe a bit of a live chat kind of thing going on to get some interaction would be good. But they're minor things that, you know, improvements which you would probably do just thinking about it and tweaking it. Anyway, I think that what you're not playing up is your corporate credentials. And if I was going to do anything as of today, I would be really targeting places I can speak. I would be, you know, offering free workshops in, you know, PwC or KPMG or these kind of things to really, get those leads that you're talking about that you want, and really doing quite a lot face-to-face. I would definitely be doing outreach to look to blog regular columns on sites like Australian Women Online, you know, the She Business site that the lady here was from earlier, you know, and really reach out and offer content to all those other sites rather than just keep it in a walled garden of your own site. Because I think you've got a fantastic
I do blog
proposition.
on Ruby Connection, and I also blog on Women in Focus to Commonwealth Bank.
Yeah, I think you could probably get, blogs on at least another 10 properties, and it's going to improve your social ranking, who you are, always being putting links back to yourself, So I think you need to amplify what you're already doing, and probably be a little bit more aggressive about it.
So how would you be more aggressive about it?
Perseverance, enough of it.
Perseverance, and I think corporate contacts, just little things that can really actually dial things up. So I remember at a speech I gave, and I didn't actually mean to do this because I don't do what you do, and I went, you're all listening to me a little bit more today because I'm wearing Christian Louboutin shoes, which I was, and they went, yeah, we're taking you more seriously because you're a successful woman, right? You're standing on stage and every woman knows what that flash of red is on the sole of your shoes. It's a $900 pair of shoes. I mean, I'm smart. I bought them on a European site for $399. But the fact is, they're looking at me and they're going, she's a smart woman, I'm going to sit up and listen to her more. I'm saying you kind of need to get some of those kind of sound bites out around you as a brand, and it's not digital, but I think a lot of face-to-face. I think you've got a great offering. I think you need to amplify.
So you're not talking about my website. You're talking
I think your website's fantastic. I just think things like the contact us isn't a call. I think improve your life and get in touch with me.
Yeah,
Probably could be dialed up. Yeah,
This is a marketing stream at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
but also
It's one element.
it's one element of it.
Yeah.
Another would be having an article in a blog or in a magazine as well.
Okay.
You are your business.
Yes, definitely.
You are the face of your business, and every time people look at you, it's you're the business. So, personally for me, I don't think the graphics and that side of the things represent you well enough, because you're a stylish woman, and you know what looks good, whether it's purple or green. It's not stylish.
That defining style is quite dated, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So what I'm going to be doing is changing it to this.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
still
why-
think, I don't understand why it's just a one solid colour. Is that something that you've briefed your developers and your designers on? Because
There should be more colour in it.
I think, to me, this is like a 1980s style, having a solid colour with different gradients and variants of that main colour. So changing it from purple to green, for me, doesn't do anything.
I really look at Mark's brochure. It's this kind of stuff.
You're colour blocking, really? Is that the term? Colour blocking?
Monochromatic. Yes. So you'd have the banner with more colours in it.
I would just do something different with it, imagery.
And get rid of the
Really beautiful.
Yeah.
the boxes.
Really beautiful kind of. This is what we aspire to be.
Oh, pictures up there.
Definitely
Yeah.
imagery.
As soon as you did that comparison, and if this goes on YouTube, my husband's going to kill me. But I thought, actually, I might send Duncan over to Rob. But seriously,
Yeah,
it gave me a
yeah.
buying signal.
Yeah.
No, genuinely,
Yeah.
that's what I thought in my head when I saw that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
Yeah.
going to
You can
absolutely
use that.
freaking kill me.
You can use it on your homepage.
If I can get that
really good
Ralph
for
Lauren promotion
Yeah.
with the Cheetos.
They're not bad.
Then
I'll
if you
see
go
that.
further down, you'll see my afters. If you
Yeah, but we don't have time to go
Okay.
through that.
So you'd have the video further down.
I don't know. She's very, very topical at the moment. Whether she Tiger Market relates.
Oh, it changes.
Of course it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you want to have something that's your main sales tool.
You
What
want
happens in that video? Is it just a video from the runway?
Yeah.
Do you talk over it, or do you do anything? See, that to me is nothing.
Okay.
If you were, explaining why that's the best colour of the season, to me that just says I've just put a video on my website from a fashion show because I work in fashion.
Okay.
But that kind of thing with everybody before and after, almost splattered photograph, it's like, whoa, look what this woman's done.
You need a graphic designer and a web designer to really push it,
Yeah.
to modernise
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, it is a bit.
Dated?
I'm not keen
Yeah,
on
definitely, definitely.
Look, you don't dress someone and have them all perfectly square with lines. You've got some kind of flow. There's not a lot of flow there. It's very compartmentalised. Everything is compartmentalised. Actually, It's got to have more room to
To breathe.
Yeah.
and.
So even all this is too.
Your eye keeps running at edges, and instead of going across, it's hard. Yeah.
How long has this website been live for?
6 years. I changed it about 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You would work wonders if you did a new one right now.
Yeah.
If you chuck $5,000 into a new one, you do very well.
I would also put some of your corporate logos around to show that you actually do work with high-end executives. To say, look, these companies.
These are my clients.
These are my clients. I would promote that.
And
I take a fashion attitude to it though as well. Pick up the phone to Mark, get some of his team looking at this. This is the kind of stuff we aspire to be like this, and that's what you're selling to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a guy called Donny Gallela. Have you heard of him? He's like a celebrity fashion stylist. He's on the morning show.
Oh yes, I do. Yeah.
Have a look at his website. It shows you more about what he does, and it's more modern.
Okay.
And even just Google fashion stylists and personal shoppers out there. See what type of ideas they've got for their websites, and incorporate some of those elements into your one.
They don't call the web a collaborative space, but you should plagiarise a little bit from the best ideas. You should go, this is working, I'll take that bit.
I guess it depends how busy you want to be as well.
Yeah.
How busy are you at the moment?
I'd like to be busier.
Okay. And obviously using the Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and everything.
It's very good on social
Yeah,
media.
definitely get that up on the top of your homepage somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know if it's on the right, I'm not too sure, but get that up there.
What's it like, social streams or?
Oh, just a little icon so people can find you
They're
through
down the bottom.
Yeah, but that's, but
Bottom up.
Robin, you're very good at that whole social networking stuff.
Yeah.
And, it means you can compete with the big boys. You should be amplified.
Oh, I see, yeah.
You really should.
Okay.
Notice everybody, social icons search at the top of the page. That's the thing.
Noted. Noted.
And also,
Good points there.
Thank you. Yes, great. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you.